Welcome back, boys and girls, to the European LCS, where we are about to get into Game 2 of the weekend as Fnatic take on the Lemon Dogs. But before we jump into that game, we sat down to talk to Fnatic's and the European All-Star top laner Soaz about his experience in Shanghai.
The All-Star event in general was really nice. I had put a lot of effort in this All-Star tournament, and yeah, it was a really great experience. Playing with 3 Gambit players and 1 EG player was a really nice experience. We knew when we did go to All-Star, we have like 6 games of practice, 6-7 games maximum, so we didn't have enough practice. We knew we could maybe pass the groups and stuff, but maximum top 3. I wouldn't go to final.
I think LA has it. They're going to finish off the Nexus. It's going to be the Nexus, and it's going to be North America. Moving on.
The All-Star one-on-one is 50-50. It was just like mostly for fun, I think. I would say there is like 20% skill and 80% luck of the matchups. First one I played versus PDD. I played Nunu versus Annie, and early it was 50-50. I start with the blue pot to poke him.
You know, PDD only has 1 spell available, so...
Straight back full health, and he's going to harass.
He was playing really safe, not trying to harass me too much, so at some point I just like tab and I look at the CS at like 65 versus 20. I was like, I'm just gonna play safe, farm and win the game for taking minions, and at some point he just tried to go all in on me because he saw that he was losing, so he just AFK on the game and say GG and wait for me to base and kill him.
PDD, yeah, he's got not many places to go. He's just sitting there taking minions.
He's give up, he's give up.
Yeah, he knows that this one is over, so it's going to be Soaz that wins this one.
Soaz is playing really good, 1 versus 1.
And when I saw the last game, I was already happy because I thought he had it. I was really happy that at least he did good, 1 from our team and someone from Europe. We told him good job with the team, and by the way, congrats for the 101.
All about the damage that he can do. Shy actually going back into this one. This could be dangerous. There's a turret hit. Soaz in all kinds of trouble now. Uses a barrier, and he's going to get the first blood. What a move from Soaz. Baits it in perfectly, and he picks up the victory.
I don't really like people calling me best top laner of the world because it's not true, and I don't know, I think I'm maybe one of the best in Europe. Winning the one-on-one All-Star matchup, it was a good feeling, but I would have preferred to win the 5-on-5, obviously. If there was a second All-Star, I would really like to do this tournament and practice a bit more this time and try to win it.
Now, I'm sure Soaz and the entire All-Star team hold fond memories of that experience, as does Demon. So time to check in with him and Jason at the desk.
Thank you very much, Sox. Yes, it was absolutely fantastic in Shanghai, I can agree. But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for our next matchup. It is going to be Fnatic versus the Lemon Dogs. And honestly, let's check out those lineups before we get too heavily involved in the matchup itself. So, for Fnatic, they're going to be the blue side this time around. It will, of course, be Soaz in that top lane. Alongside him, it is going to be Cyanide in the jungle. Had a lot of smite steals away from him for the alternate game last weekend, so he's going to be looking to try and appease that one. Peke in that mid lane, of course, he did some fantastic Twisted Fate work in Moscow. Let's see if he's allowed that one through. Yellow Star, of course, also alongside him is Enrated.
Of course, on the red side will be Lemon Dogs with Zoro in the top lane. Dexter in the jungle, who actually looked a little nervous in Moscow with his Nautilus hooks. Nuke Duck in the middle lane, and Tabs and We Will Failure as AD carry support.
Absolutely. So, let's check out what you guys at home think about this match over on LoL Esports.
Yeah, it's actually probably a really close matchup if you look at the percents, because it really can go either way. Fnatic has a very strong team, As we all know, they won the spring split. But then, of course, Lemondogs, they surprised everyone back in the first week of LCS. But then they've kind of been on a downward spiral since.
Well, of course, it does seem that Fnatic are ahead in that one. We're coming into this game, of course, so Fnatic and Lemondogs, well, they both tasted defeat in their final games in Moscow. Fnatic went down in explosive style to Alternate. It was an epic match, ladies and gentlemen. You got to watch that one. One not maybe to watch, though, is the Lemondogs, because they were grinded into submission by Evil Geniuses in a bit of a slow game.
Well, it's EG. You kind of expect that out of them. But, you know, out of all the spring split teams, Fnatic was the only one to really come out swinging from day one. However, they did end up with a 2-3 record after the first week, and Lemondogs look very strong in the summer promotion tournament as well as in week number 1. But like I said before, they've been on that downward spiral ever since. And with this nice long week off, both teams have had this chance to practice and really kind of see where their faults have lied, where they're really strong, and try to be better in the end and pick up, honestly, much needed wins. And I'm going to say that every single time, because every game this season, out of all 28, every single one is really crucial, because if you look at the end goal of the season, the World Finals. Everyone wants to be there, and you need to win every single game to get there.
Absolutely. It's the target that everybody wants to make. And, well, the Lemondogs, they came into this one very, very confident to start this season in week 1. As it stands right now, they are just had a few issues. Once week 1 got out of the way, it was like suddenly the reality set in. Ooh, this is a tough, tough league to be in. And Fnatic, they're up against, of course, were the spring champions. And this is definitely going to be a tough game for them. We're just waiting for the players to get themselves ready. You can see they don't even have their headsets on yet, so they're not even in the game. So it's going to be a little while before we get Champ Select started off here.
Yeah, and I really want to know what Lemondogs is really going to do, because, to be honest, they have taken the most dragons out of every team so far, with 19 tied with Alternate. But the thing is, they take it the latest. Like, they're the slowest team to take that first dragon, which is kind of interesting. And when we saw them versus NIP in Moscow, they decided to do Dragon, where NIP was like, hey, if you're going to do Dragon, we're just take Baron very quickly, because they had 3 people with those spirit items.
And we should point out, this is the first time that Lemondogs have actually been in the studio as an LCS team. They came here at the promo series. They swept against all authorities aside 3-0. Dominant performance there. But they are up against Fnatic, who are very, very comfy in their studios. Apparently, We Will Failers got his little "You Are the Best" bunny. So he's happy with it. Well, what is it? It's a teddy bear.
I don't know, it's just really fluffy.
There's another teddy bear. That one says Seal, and that one's Cyanide. Cyanide's always had a new haircut. He's had a...
I think he heard you.
Yeah, give us a wink there, sure. So as alongside him, just said, interesting to see that he's like, I don't like being called the best top laner in the world. Maybe in Europe.
It's just like, it's a mix of modesty with him being like, yeah, I'm pretty good. And I really like what Double has said. And there's a lot of things he says that people don't like out of him. But this is one of the few that he said, you know, if you don't have the ego, if you don't think you're the best, if you don't play like you're the best, then you're kind of defeating yourself.
Be it. Yeah,
I mean, you have to always assume or always believe that you're a really good player, that you're one of the best to actually go up against the top counterparts in the world and be able to beat them.
Lemondogs, of course, coming into this one, they were very, very confident coming into this league, saying that they are going to be #1 come the summer split. We'll see, of course, whether that plays out, but as it stands, they are a long way off there. I think they believe the record at the moment, I think it's Fnatic are at 4-3. I'm trying to remember. 4-4, of course, because they lost the last game to Alternate, of course. Meanwhile, Lemondogs chasing, you could say, nipping at their heels at 3-5.
You could. And then also, if they lose this game, they will drop below Evil Geniuses. So they'll go from that 5th place to the 6th place. And honestly, I believe Ninja... Actually, no, I think Ninja Pajamas will actually go up higher than them, because they did beat them back last week.
We do see Yellow Star on his team. Pressure's on his shoulders as well, because, again, in the studio is Reckless. He's here. I've seen him. And I was like, you're not in the LCS. What are you doing here? He said,
of course.
Soon will be.
Yeah. It's like, not yet.
Like, ooh, that's a lot of pressure to have on a player. That when you know he plays your position, you know he's just played very, very well at DreamHack.
Yeah.
They actually won DreamHack, his team did, that he played with, which was the Copenhagen Wolves at the time. He was the only member that wasn't of the Copenhagen Wolves. And it still remains an unsolved problem. He's going to be turning 17 this year. What will happen when he hits that phase? And will he just step in?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean,
it's a question for Harry.
Yeah.
It's probably a question that Harry's like, I don't want to answer that one.
Yeah, he's just letting it, you know, it's not for a long time away, so what's the big deal? Not to worry about it right now. But yeah, I mean, what do you do? He was in the team previously. He's I'm not going to say he's one of the best, sorry, I'm not going to say he's the best, but he's one of the best, one of the top 80 carries in Europe. How do you deal with that? Like, he's like a free agent right now when he hits 17.
Well, of course, we have had you guys at home voting for the LoL Esports. And it is a massive, massive swing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, because 92% of you have voted for Fnatic in this one. 92%! That's not a lot of faith in Lemondogs.
I think that's actually one of the highest percentages for one team that we've seen so far in European LCS, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that 100%. I don't know about you, Demon, but
that's a lot. That's a big number compared to really a straight-up 50-50 game that could happen. Well, anything could happen in the first 5 minutes, honestly, in the game. But of course, don't forget, guys, get over to lolesports.com. You can vote over there. There is 2 more games to go today, and of course, there is tomorrow's matches. Coming up after this one, it's going to be Alternate versus SK, and then Evil Geniuses versus Gambit. So 2 huge games to follow this.
And the big one, the EG versus, the Alternate versus Gambit one, where Gambit's now not playing with Darien top lane. They're playing with Spontex. So that is going to be really exciting to see how much they practice in that week, how well he actually plays up there, because at least to me, they're very similar players, but I guess that's for the next game. That's a little bit away.
Indeed, and if you just missed it, well, the new lineup, Ninjas in Pajamas, did pick up a win in their first game of the day versus Meet Your Makers. Of course, they're going to be playing tomorrow, and we'll see how that works out for them. We are going to be grabbing a word with their manager as well shortly after these games. But as it is, you can see on your screen, Tabs used to be the mid laner many moons ago, and now is the AD carry for Lemondogs. He's played many positions. Honestly, actually, most of these players can play any position. Obviously, they you could say excel in that one position that they practice hard in, but
that's only because they practice in that position, I'd have to say. I mean, I think if you're a top player, you have to be able to do that. I mean, over in North America, sorry, what team was that actually switched roles recently? It's like on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember.
You thinking of TSM?
TSM, there we go. Wow, how could I forget that? So Dyrus
I don't know, did they actually switch? I didn't actually
I don't know if that was a troll or not.
I'm pretty sure it was a troll, but I don't know. I didn't actually get to watch the North American LCS. It started at 2:30 a.m., guys. I wouldn't be looking so beautiful and handsome right now. There would be some serious bags on my face if I hadn't done it. The makeup lady would have had a lot of work to do. But nevertheless, we are looking at the players right now, and you can see they are all in the lobby. So hopefully we'll be getting towards Champ Select in a few moments. And let's talk about the picks and bans for these teams. What are we expecting? Because Twisted Fate has been almost always bad, and you would expect that against the likes of Peke. But what are you thinking with Nuke in the middle there? He's been hit and miss. He was absolutely on fire in the promo and has done very well in the LCS so far, but is it worth banning anything towards him?
He's actually been playing Vladimir middle recently. He played Ari back in the summer promotion tournament, but he's actually 2 for 2 right now on Vladimir. And that's kind of scary. He's actually 0 for 1 on Jace. So Jace is one of those champions which we rarely see get let through. But when we do, it's usually just explosive. But Zoro 0. I mean, we actually had Lemondogs on the bus list back at DreamHack when we were going towards the event. And his team even said, like, that's the only champion you can play top lane. And he hasn't been doing that great with it. He's 1-4 with it right now, or 1 win out of 4 games. And I mean, Malphite kind of came back out of nowhere in the summer split. When it was used in summer promotion tournament because of that strong engage, but it's like most teams already said, all right, we're done with them. We're past that phase. We want to move into the next lineup of things. But what do you ban against Fnatic? I mean, you brought up a very good point. Twist of Fate, you don't want to let Expect have that. There's a lot of champions you don't want to let any of them have.
Well, there's Elise for Soaz as well. You got to think of maybe Leona for N-rated, but he's also been playing a lot of Janna lately as well. And you think of the AD carries that Yellowstar's been thrown out there. He can kind of switch between any. Actually, maybe thinking about that, we've talked about Caitlyn for Tabs as well. Yeah, so
we'll go back to Yellowstar real quick and Rated, because it's something really cool is that N-Rated's actually 3 for 4 on Janna, which you don't really see picked up too often. Usually a lot of people are going towards Nami these days as support. And Yellowstar is actually 2 for 3 for Draven. So if you pair them together, that ridiculous amount of AD that you get stacked on top of his Q, it just makes him really hard to deal with in lane, really hard to lane against as 2 versus 2, but more especially 2v1 lanes.
Well, we still see headsets not on to Nuke just yet, so obviously having a slight problem. The admins were buzzing around him, so I guess they're getting themselves ready to go. Fnatic seem to be all prepped and ready. Looking at them, they are deep in discussions about what champions they're going to go with. Interesting that they've actually switched their lineup this season as well. If you think back to the spring LCS, you used to have Peke on the end here, but Soaz has now gone to the top lane area, which effectively is the normal spot that you see the top lane on. In terms of seating positions I'm talking about here, you can see them. And then Peke is actually back in the middle. Looks like they're going to have to go straight USB cables in towards the back of the computer. That seems to be the issue. Nuke seems in at least happy spirits about it as the admins just yank that PC straight out of there, no problem. Don't worry about the cable length. I'm sure you can just get it in there. You won't, don't worry, it's not going to be tight on the head. You're just like, ah. We've had cable problems before. We always have these problems with these headsets yanking off our heads, but we're all right at the moment.
Yeah, they're nice headsets.
They are nice headsets.
Very comfortable.
A lot of people always ask what they are. They are straight Sennheisers, by the way.
I don't know what version, though.
HMD 26i1.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to come up with that answer so quickly, dude.
Got a pair at home.
That was impressive. Really?
Yeah, they are the standard headsets that we use. But talking about headsets, check out those big bad boys on Yellowstar's head. They're the Plantronics headsets, basically used to nullify our voices. And of course the crowd's voices as well, which is why they all have them on, so they can't really hear what we have to say. Nuke doesn't have his on right now, and you can see the IT guys are fixing whatever issue he has. Everybody else is in and ready, and there's a good bit of banter going in the what would you call that, lobby? I guess is the all chat, whatever you'd like to call it between them.
Yeah, they're talking about Aatrox a little bit right now, which new champion coming out. It's not going to be available for another 3 weeks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, since it has to take a month before it's released, so people can get used to it. But going to be a very strong champion. I think it might actually get played quite a bit when it does come around.
And actually, thinking of new champions, Lissandra is one of those that made a big impact in 3.7. We haven't seen him just yet. It's only been one game so far. Are we likely to see anyone from Lemondogs or Fnatic pull that one out?
Well, don't forget Soaz. He's played it in 2 games, only won 1. I don't know. It's like it seemed like a one-trick pony at first because Alternate used it, caught everyone off guard with it. We saw actually was it Darian actually play it over on Gambit's side before,
and Alex Itch did as well.
Yeah, and I don't know. It seems like this week it's been a little bit more laid back, a little bit back to the basics.
We've only had one game, to be fair.
That is true. I will give it that. But we always could because there's a lot of champions out there. There's a lot of really good champions to pick, and it goes back to that whole theory of how do you do picks and bans? And Crepo, a lot of players told us this. It's the fact that you don't want to let one OP champion get through, so you don't want to let like a Twisted Fate get through, so you let 3 get through. So that way you'll always get at least 2. But then the other team's like, oh, if you're going to do that, we'll let 5 get through, so then we'll have more of a chance of getting more. So it's a really big mind game here. And hopefully it's not affecting Lemondogs because, like you mentioned before, this is the first time here as a team. They haven't been a team together very long, and you have to wonder how these little pauses when they come in here ready to go really affect them.
Well, you can see just by the big blue glow on Nukeduck's face there, the PC has been rebooted, so they're just sorting that out. There's a big blue glow, but that's one of our stage lights on the back of Soaz, who I wonder what you're going to see him play. We did have that stat that he'd only lost 1 game on Elise, but actually he's 2 now because he lost to Alternate. Hopefully they will be ready to go. He's not quite in the lobby just yet. Cyanide, of course, alongside him. He had a bit of a torrid time up against Aranea. Honestly, that was a scary matchup. If you've not seen it, ladies and gentlemen, you must check it out after we finish here. You've got about a couple of hours between Europe LCS finishing and North America starting and MLG, so you could maybe squeeze in. I would recommend certainly Alternate versus Gambit and Alternate versus Fnatic from last week. Absolute tremendous games that we had in Moscow. Also in front of the great Russian crowd that we had there, and it was great to see overall. Yeah, great event.
It really was. Like everyone was so thankful for that we were there. Like you heard the Russian crowd in the video earlier. They were saying thank you. I can't say it correct. I'm not even gonna try. I'm American.
Spasiba, I believe it was.
that one. But they were saying that they're just cheering it because they were so happy to finally have an event there, and you honestly saw it in all their eyes.
And speaking of events, we have a new event that we have announced. It will be in Tenerife for I believe week 5. Is it week 5 or week 6? I don't know which one it is. It is week 5. I think. They all kind of blend into one.
It's coming up.
It's in July. I think it's the 18th to 20th, I believe. So that would be week 6, I think it is. But we will be in Tenerife, I should say. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to get the pronunciation right. Ocelot will be on my case, Tenerife. And yeah, so the LCS will be on the road one more time. And it's a hard life, honestly, to be asked to go and do an event in Tenerife in July.
Who wants to lay out on a beach?
Nobody really wants to go to this event, honestly. We're really all being, beaten into submission to have to go do this one.
Yeah, I don't know. How am I going to deal with myself there? I mean, do I want to lay on a beach? Do I want to go swimming? I don't know. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be
busy rehearsing, Jason.
That is true.
Of course, that's what we do. We work very hard at these events. Don't dispel that image. Whatever you do. We do see, of course, Lemondogs on your screen. We're just waiting for Nukeduck to sort himself out. He was in there. He's getting in position. Everybody's switching around. We're going to get Champ Select going in just a moment as Peke takes a mild yawn as he prepares himself. What will we see from Peke? Will we see any backdoor shenanigans again, like we saw from Twisted Fate? Absolutely 100% sure that's going to be banned.
Yeah, I'd have to definitely agree with that one, Demon. And You know, he actually, in week 1, towards the later days, like day 2, day 3, he actually played Malphite middle, which the first time he played it, it worked out well. The second time it didn't, and it seems like he's straying away from those. He wants to go back to his assassins, back to the heavy damage dealers that he can make plays with, because, you know, him and Soaz, they're like a tag team where you'll have Soaz push a lane, Xpeke will be waiting or will come by, and they will just kill whoever's there. I mean, Kevin, he's the recipient of that one back in the spring split. You know, it was the trilogy of Kevin or whatever it was that Trevor was saying. But that's what they do. They like to pair up. They like to just destroy someone and then push off of that. And we'll see if they're going to be able to make that split push strategy work.
So bans coming in. Evelyn being taken away by Fnatic. They don't want to let that one through. It's interesting. Evelyn's actually been banned fairly strongly lately. Yeah. So against Dexter this time, of course. Twisted Fate has been banned, sure enough. It would be Lemondogs that would have to ban it because Fnatic on the blue side could have gone for the first pick there. Nami, interesting that Nami gets banned out here.
Yeah, so the Evelyn ban, if we go back to that real quick, was actually banned out in every single game in LPL except once in the semifinals. And it's due to the fact that she's very strong mid-game. She has a lot of true damage instead of AP. So mid-game, she has the ability to get behind you when you don't have the ability to get wards down, or, you know, pink wards, or have the Oracle relatively early on. So she really excels at that point. And if you can take the mid game, I mean, it's pretty easy to take the rest of the game. But the Naya ban, yeah, that one's actually very interesting to see. And it looks like Lemondogs don't want to go up, or it's not Lemondogs, Fnatic doesn't want to go up against it, which means maybe N-Rated wants to go for Leona, or maybe just wants to sit back on Janna.
Well, We Will Fail played Nami pretty much every game so far that I can remember, so maybe that's just simply trying to put the support out of his comfort zone. Elise has been banned as well. That's against Soaz. Shen being taken away as well. See whether that's going to affect anyone. It does mean that Thresh has snuck through with that Nunu ban, and it is going to get locked in for N-Rated.
I think N-Rated's really giddy about this one. He's like, yes, I get to play Thresh again, finally! Because he's such a strong support. He has such a strong initiate, and that's really hard to go up against, but
there we are.
See Lemondogs on the Sandra for the first time.
So that could be Nuke Duck. We'll see whether it's Zoro who's been practicing it the most. Dexter waiting to see, is he going to go straight for a jungler? Will he maybe pick up Jarvan? No, it's going to be Ezreal locked in for tabs.
Okay, so that's a very smart pick to go with. I mean,
or it could be Ezreal jungle.
RNA is not in this game though, unfortunately. But it's a very strong pick just in terms of you have the ability to dodge the hooks, so it's very hard to be locked down. The blue build, which it hasn't been touched just yet in this patch, so he's going to be relatively strong. We'll be able to kite extremely well, but they're more of an engage right now. Just having the Sandra, like, they want to engage. They want people who can just destroy one person. They want to hop on top of them and just blow them up right away. But the Orianna being sat on right now, Demon. So
interesting, because that's what Peke had against Alternate. And it was a bit of a stomp, but it wasn't really Peke's fault. However, that's an interesting choice. Tristana maybe going to get locked in for Yellowstar.
Yeah, so obviously one of the strongest late game AD carries, because you have that ridiculous range that you can't be touched on, so you're relatively safe. Is Peke actually sitting on cleanse right now, so that's really curious for me what he's actually going to go for here in the end. And Lee Sin, I really hate RNA for this because I see it in solo queue now every single time, but Lee Sin's being played constantly lately.
Yeah, well, don't get me started on Lee Sin. I hate that champion with a passion. Jarvan, though, looking like he may well be selected. That's going to be Dexter in the jungle, and taking away that Janna, of course. The fact that Thresh has already been selected and Nami banned out means We Will Fail having to switch up the champions and going for that Janna. So final choices for Fnatic.
I'm actually really wondering if that could be a mid Janna. I'm thinking about it. We've seen Probably do it quite a few times over North America LCS, but I don't know. Sona would be better in my opinion, because if you have Jarvan and Lissandra going in, pop a Crescendo on top of that, you'll be relatively safe, and Janna can push waves out really easily, and the shield you can give. What's that?
I just think you're having a Kobe moment and getting a little excited about this.
It would be cool because
all I'm suggesting.
If you think about it, if Lissandra goes in, doesn't have to use ultimate on herself.
Happy birthday, Kobe, by the way.
Happy birthday. But the shield you get is just ridiculously big, so he won't have to use ultimate on himself ever. He can use it on someone else, and they can just get on top of him with the Jarvan.
Well, we'll see if that is.
If I'm right, I'm going to feel good.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as well. Cyanide looks like he's going to be pulling out the Volley Bear once again. See if that's what he chooses. Interesting, the fact that we did see, of course, Jarvan taken away from Cyanide, one of the champions. That may well be Peke, you know, on that Malphite. You were talking about the fact that he'd got cleanse on him already, which generally suggests, ooh dear, being selected. Spirit Guardian not quite available just yet, unfortunately for him, but that's going to be the new skin coming out soon. Hate to throw that advertising in there, but god damn, it looks good.
Yes, it does. And actually, someone tweeted at me a little bit earlier today saying, Cyanide's going to play with Deer. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. And
he's been playing it maybe a lot in the solo queue.
Yeah, so it's going to be actually really strong. It's going to be really hard to get away from that, because Udyr is naturally going to get extremely fast against you if he goes for like a Shurelya's or the Boots of Swiftness, but having the Orianna speed on top of that, it's really hard to get away from that. And he just gets so tanky later on that he's really a big threat to deal with.
So final pick, come on, prediction.
Come on, Sona, come on, Sona, come on, Sona. I don't know. I'm hoping for that just because it would really pair well with their team. But I have to say, because it's most likely going to be a top laner right now, I would think. And Zoro likes to play tanky champions. I was about to say Taz? Hey. But he likes to play tanky champions, so I would assume it's going to go towards something like that. Zach is available. Oh, wow.
Whoa, hello. Is this good? Are we going to have a change around here? I'm looking at Tabs' screen. What's he selecting there?
He's smiling.
Is this actually going to be Tabs switching around and Nukeduck's going to be the AD carry? This could be interesting. The fact that he has been locked in. I mean, it could be Nukeduck. Nukeduck's certainly a very good player on it, but I am intrigued.
I remember something. I talked to Taz on the way back from Moscow, and he said AD Fizz as a carry.
Wow.
Yeah, that picture.
And AP Ezreal in the mid.
Or AD. I mean, it can go either way with them. Obviously very strong, but it's very hard. Oh, wow. Actually, Nukeduck might be playing. Damn, these guys. They're throwing us off, but I'm happy to see a Fizz finally in LCS.
When you've got Tabs there, you just expect him to be
Yeah.
Fizz. So we'll see. We'll see whether it sticks that way. Of course, you would expect it to be ordinarily that way, but maybe Lemondogs have thrown a monkey wrench in the plans of Fnatic. We'll see whether it works out that way or not. Of course, the fact that Udyr has been selected as well. It's a couple of champions, a couple of new champions we haven't seen in the European LCS for a while.
Well, we'll see if Fnatic throws the dogs a bone as they try to get a win here. But the Fizz, I mean, he's running Teleport Ignite, if I can I'll let you know ahead of time before we actually get into the game. And I want to know if he's going that Alex itch build of the 30 points in offense to try to really kill someone, because against an Orianna, how do you hit someone that has the pole to stand on?
Like, it's a teleport Fizz as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, teleport Ignite. This is all-out aggression on Orianna, effectively Peke. Will Peke actually play that lane, or will he switch to a 2v1 lane? Because Orianna's probably the strongest 2v1 you got.
I would say Orianna would do a lot better against Lissandra just because of the range difference, where Lissandra's more of a mid-range mage. Orianna can just sit back and obviously be protected quite well. I would assume that would be what would actually happen, because hitting ultimate on Fizz with Orianna is ridiculously hard.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to go live. The blue screen you can see. The Lemondogs are ready and waiting to go. The Lemon Ducks sometimes they have been renamed when Nukeduck does especially well. Fnatic are the blue team on your screen, and of course that means the red side will beat the Lemondogs. So will we see any aggression? We did see it in the previous matchup. We saw the kill coming out very early on for Meet Your Makers against Ninjas in Pajamas, but doesn't matter, that first blood stat didn't help them, and they went down to Ninjas in Pajamas. Very new lineup, wards being placed straight out there from We Will Failure. Not on his normal Nami this time around, had to go with the Janna. We'll see how that affects his play, of course, because he was landing those Aqua Prisons very well before. We saw some fantastic Aqua Prisons in the last game. Very interested to see Nami banned out, though, with such a low win rate. Look at this, though, N-rated. We saw already some Thresh First Bloods trying to land them hooks in that mid lane.
And it doesn't look like Lemondogs will actually fall for this, though, as they do have a ward there, so they will know where Fnatic is. And 3.8. I mean, we're on patch 3.8, gotta point that again, and we're seeing Fizz with the Doran's Ring and health pots, and he's sitting right now at 36 ability power. He has 8 flat armor pen mixed in with the 5 flat magic pen, 8% magic pen, but he's gonna be really hard to deal with, and Lemondogs, they may be able to catch. Yeah, I would say they wouldn't be strong with them early on because of the tanking. Well, they do have a lot of damage, a lot of CC, but it would force them to take abilities they don't want to take right now.
And I believe we could see Phoenix stance was already taken by Cyanide there, so I don't think he was looking to engage or certainly get any stuns in there with his bear stance. It does mean that it's going to be the AD pairings of Tabs and We Will Failure. So it is Tabs on Ezreal, ladies and gentlemen, and it is going to be Yellow Star and N-rated, both starting at that 155, although no, because where is We Will Failure going and where is Tabs going? I thought they were going to go aggressive here on Fnatic. Instead, they're going to let them take their Columns lane.
Yeah, so you can still take them. You'll miss maybe 1 or 2 CS, but you still have the ability to do it. As actually Lemondogs are respawn, they know this is going to happen. They're going to push the lane extremely quickly. They're going to force this wave to be on the turret of Fnatic and try to make them miss CS.
Very aggressive play there from Lemondogs, and they do manage to work it. They wipe out the entire wave, and they're going to try and keep the pressure on towards the turret. Yellow Star has to try and pick up the CS. We'll see whether he does miss out on any. He's missed 1 already. So maybe it has worked out. We are seeing pings in that mid lane as well. So Dexter was looking to go aggressive on Peke, but already they knew he was there. They called him out for that ward in the banana bush.
So very interesting to see that happen relatively early, as you don't see a lot of level 2 ganks happen anymore because it kind of set you behind early on, but because of the insane ward coverage you can put down, it's kind of needed right now at this point to get some really early ganks. But Cyanide, already level 3, already has his red buff. Udyr is extremely fast in the jungle, and we'll see exactly where he decides to go.
You also see Dexter, he was about to pick up that blue buff. Star is going to be keeping up the farm. He's managed to keep up with Tabs despite the try at pushing it by Lemondogs. We see aggression on Nukeduck as well. And that's actually what Pekka's going to do. He's got to bully out Tabs, Nukeduck, sorry, early on. I'm so used to seeing Fizz as Tabs there. Because once he starts going those levels up, he is going to be diving at Pekka.
He might actually try to go all... Well, he can't really do that anymore because Xpeke did harass him quite well. I was thinking maybe you want to go all in, but he gets teleport back to lane as he does go back. And you know where this bottom lane? Yellow Star and Tristana, that lane is naturally going to push through just because of that explosive shot. And Snoop does get back middle here, and he comes back with a ward and a couple more health pots, so no new items really.
No, he will be able to wipe out this wave as soon as it's getting hit by the tower. Quite happy to let it be pushed. Very aggressive stuff from Peke, trying his best to work down with a giant creep wave, honestly, to try and put the pressure on towards this turret. Doesn't need any jungle help. Isn't going to get any from his support either. Dexter trying to sneak in towards that top lane, but it's Nukeduck that's under the pressure. We'll keep our eye on that one. Lissandra on Zora Zero this time around against Soaz. Soaz has played this champion already, so he's going to know. But look at the pressure that he's putting down on towards Soaz there.
Yeah, because of the free spellcast and the Doran's Ring that you can use on Lissandra, you pretty much aren't hurting for Mon in the lane, and you can harass really well, which, as you see on Soaz's health bar, it's already coming true. And over at mid lane, you're just seeing Xpeke, if we can take a look at that real quick, it's just he's constantly keeping this wave pushed against Nukeduck because he can harass him under turret with these auto attacks.
Well, he's doubled the CS right now, 26 to 13. The AD carries are very even. Cyanide is actually backing off as well, so I thought you may well go looking for a gank, but instead, he's just going to upgrade that to a Spirit Stone. We'll see, Dexter is looking towards his mid lane. Ward has worn out from Peke here, so Dexter might be able to try and sneak on towards Peke.
Doesn't have red buff anymore, so he won't be able to get the slow, but here he goes.
He's going to go straight in. Can he manage to land that combo? Dive straight in towards there, uses the speed buff. Is it going to be enough for Nukeduck? No, he backs away from it. No mana left really for Peke though, so could well have completed and pushed on towards that one. And they are going to slide on through. They do manage to get more damage on towards Peke. Cyanide comes around the corner. That's going to force him away, but that is going to buy time for the mid lane.
Yes, it will, and it'll actually buy time for Nukeduck to finally get some CS here too, but unfortunately for Lemondogs, or fortunately for Xpeke, he didn't use his flash there, so he still has it available. And that'll make it harder for Dexter to really gank him now.
Yeah, confident play from Peke not to actually be panicked by that knock-up and disruption from Dexter. Realised that he was in safe mode. And rated in Yellow Star, you can see they're keeping the pressure on towards this bottom turret, and that's interesting straight away. Thresh, of course, is always a presence, and he is starting to bully out the fact that Janna and Tabs as Ezreal struggling to keep up with that CS.
And the thing is, look at We Will Failur's summoners. He's actually using Flash Heal. As we do see Dexter come around, he's trying to go for a gank here. I don't believe he was actually spotted, but they're very defensive summoner spells. Like, they have no way of holding Fnatic down here, and Fnatic's going to push up into him.
They're going to walk straight around there. Yellow Star, well, the hook comes out towards Tabs. That's going to signal the go sign. Howling Gale came across. Oh, Tabs misses his combo on towards Ed-Rated, and now the shield comes out. That may be enough to try and get away from this one. Yellow Star also tries to slow them down there. Jumps straight in towards it. Tabs having to get the shield on him from We Will Failure, and that was a very good disengage from Fnatic.
Well, if you take a look at top lane right now, we do have Cyanide. He's trying to come on for a gank here. If they get the stone as Zora Zero, who has not a lot of mana, they might be able to get something here.
There's the bear stance for Cyanide. Can he land that stun? He mentioned he's going to try and get away from this one. Will just zip away, no problem. Turtle Shield comes out and blocks out any damage from Zora Zero.
I just keep looking at that. Oh, we do see the ultimate of Soaz.
Unstoppable Force comes down there. The switch to Phoenix isn't going to be enough. The Ignite running. He just flashed for it as well, Soaz, but I still don't think he's going to have enough damage. And they're not going to get the kill on towards Zora Zero. They may well be able to push the pressure onto the turret, though.
Wow, I did not expect Soaz to do that out of nowhere. But you're right. Actually, no. He's sticking around. We've seen Dexter coming in from the side. He wants to try to go for a gank here. There's a ward in the Tribush, though. And Soaz, he's gonna be backing out here soon.
He's got to back away from this one. Ward spots Cyanide as well, going down the river. So now they know that he's on his own. Zora Zero is just going to clear this wave and back off. Let's have a look towards that mid lane. How is it progressing? Peke, of course, just 10 CS up on Nukeduck. Was almost double at one point, but is still trying to keep that advantage over the top of him. And that is interesting in itself. Got that Doran's Blade in there for Peke.
He actually doesn't have any foot armor pen or percent armor pen, so he just wants to get that additional harass on him because he's keeping the wave pushed, so he's auto-attacking quite a bit. So any harass that Nukeduck will do, it should generally be healed up enough.
Well, blue buff's going to be given across to Peke now. You see him heading that way. Cyanide starting that one off, which means Dexter's will be up in a moment. He's just taken the red buff, though. We'll see whether he gives that across to Nukedog. Once Nukedog hits that 6, which he has done, I'm expecting him to start being a little bit more aggressive on Peke.
He's really going to need to be. He needs to pick up some kills just to be really dominating late game. He has to be able to one-shot someone, and when you have Yellowstar who can jump away, Xpeke who has a really strong tank on to protect him, it's going to be very hard for him to do that, but looks like his blue actually won't be up for a little bit longer since it was taken second out of Dexter.
He's on it now, actually, looking towards. Looks like he's going to take it himself. He's struggling to take it himself.
Oh, he is actually taking it.
Okay. Very low there. It does also mean that Dexter's managed to sneak his way in the top there. I wonder if that means Soaz thinks he's safe right now because he knows that blue buff will be up. Maybe he's expecting that dragon. The blue buff to be taken on his own. As it is, he's out of the lane for a long time, so I guess they realize it. And Soaz backs to his turret.
He does pick up an Amp Tomb and another Warden health pot, so I really want to see what he's going to build into. I don't know if he got coached by Tabs a little bit, but actually I remember Tabs telling me that Nukedog is a pretty strong Fizz player as well. And we're seeing how that's going to go. But relatively, it's been a pretty slow game, Demon. It's just Fnatic out farming right now, Lemondogs, as we have the ward right there spotting and raided. So they're going to spot any ganks coming in currently, but Cyanide, he's just farming up right now.
It's just 1,000 gold between the two teams at the moment. The ADs are close, but Peke is the one pulling the advantage. And like you say, actually, in terms of CS at the top lane, it is Zora0 that's ahead. Despite the fact every time we've looked at it, it has been Soraz trying to bully it out there. We do see Zora0 making his way down the river. He's going to get spotted by... No, he's not. He's actually pulled around the side there. Didn't get seen, I don't think. Yes,
he lands the fish. If he lands the fish, this is going to be a kill on Xpeke.
We'll see whether he does. It's going to be Zora0 going in towards it. Flashes out. The fish does get thrown out. That's the bait. Peke tries to use the shockwave on Zora0. Not sure it's going to be enough to help him escape this one, though. Does use that ball. Tries to get that speed boost in there. Cyanide comes in. Bear stance is not enough. Takes the Dark Passage as well. Thrown out by N-Rated. And a successful escape for Peke.
Yeah, great escape. Cyanide coming around, saving his life right there just with his mere presence. And what it did was it pulled Zora0 out of lane and allowed Soaz to actually farm up a little bit. So that gap isn't as wide anymore, but we're going to see potentially a 2-man push on this middle turret since they know Xpeke is gone right now. Just get some damage on it.
Just to get some damage down, as you say. Zora0 is backing off. Does actually give time. Like you mentioned, Soaz is getting that farm, just gaining it back. That was a big advantage they had and lost, but of course it's worth it to try and take those risks, to try and pick up those kills.
Yes.
As you mentioned, the alternates, they are the risk takers, and it has paid off dividends for them.
And unfortunately, it didn't work out too well for Lemondogs right there, but I mean, that is Xpeke's flash, so that means Dexter can come around with his ultimate, lock him down, and easily pick up something. He's hitting bottom right now. We'll be spotted by a ward, so we won't be able to make anything happen just yet. But you know, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, this is a relatively slow game, but both teams don't take the first turret on average until about 12-13 minute mark, which they are the slowest right now in European LCS.
And looking at the game, the way it is progressing, obviously both of them, it's going to go a little bit longer. They're only at the 10-minute mark now, so we wouldn't say late game just yet. We're very early to call that. But who would be the stronger if we were to start getting there?
I'd have to say if Xpeke doesn't get shut down soon, if he doesn't get pulled out of lane more often and start to fall behind in CS, I think I'd have to get over Fnatic because of that Unstoppable Force Orianna ultimate combo. It's just so deadly. And usually if you punish, Orianna early on, then you limit their damage because all you have is an AD carry behind that. The middle just reducing Nukedog going in.
That's going to be the fish thrown out there. Cataclysm comes through. This time it will be first blood. Nukedog picks it up on Peke with the help of his jungler.
Yeah, very well played then. That's exactly what they need to do. They can keep this up. They'll actually put Xpeke quite far behind, and the kill did go over to Nukedog too. So he's going to have that little bit of extra gold. And so far, Lemondog's doing very well, and they've taken this week of practice and actually done quite well with this so far. They really researched Fnatic and are trying to outplay them, though they're still down in gold after that.
That was a lot of work, though, put into finally landing that kill on Peke. We'll see whether it pays off, because it was a flash crescendo as well coming out from Dexter. So we'll see whether that's going to be a flash crescendo.
Yeah, I was like, what?
A flash cataclysm. You know what I meant.
It does kind of the same thing when someone doesn't have flash.
It effectively does. You pancake them. Tabs in this bottom lane. He's got himself a Bilgewater Cutlass. Meanwhile, it's just the Vampiric Scepter for Yellowstar as well as that longsword. So see the way that he goes the same path. We've been seeing some different builds from AD carries, namely Genja as well. And honestly, it's a craze that's catching on. I've seen a lot of tier ashes in solo queue these days.
Yeah, I mean, we always praise Genja as being a really innovator as an AD carry. He's one of the first AD carries to go Ninja Tabi on his AD champions. Also, a couple of other things like taking Cleanse and not taking Flash a couple of times. But Zora0, he's doing quite well farming, still ahead a little bit. And it looks like Dragon might potentially be coming up here soon because he's heading down, and they do have a pink ward on the Dragon currently.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading that way. May even be blue attempt at blocking. We're not quite in that phase yet. They may have another go at Peke in this mid lane. The way that Zoro0's positioned himself tells me he may well try and come across. Dexter's also in position. Hasn't got Cataclysm for a couple of moments though. Instead he's just going to try and slide across. Peke actually walking straight in. We Will Fail. Throws out the Howling Gale. Doesn't catch on towards him, but it should be enough. Shockwave though in the background catches on towards it. Peke goes down. Cyanide, the next focus of target. He gets locked up by Zoro0. Takes the Dark Passage. Is going to go down. It was Zoro0 that finally picked up the kill.
But look what they committed to that. A lot of ultimates, a lot of summers, but even We Will Fail came up from the bottom lane for that to help out. Dexter, oh my gosh, almost getting hooked in right there, but it looks like they might try to go for Dragon, though Soaz, he came down from the top lane, so that should pretty much mitigate that possibility.
Yeah, they are going to back away from this one. 2 kills, nevertheless. It's still a good result, no matter how much you use. Yellowstar going aggressive on Tabs there, forcing him out of lane a little bit to try and keep him away from any experience. There's no experience to be had, so not really keeping him out of anything. N-rated, throwing out that Dark Passage, still checking out that Dragon, and it is not being picked up. He's got a pink ward on him. He's not going to place it, though. That would have spotted out Lemondogs. He doesn't instead, and Lemondogs are actually, judging by their positioning, they're not going for Dragon yet.
Yeah, it looks like they just backed away from that since they committed so much for it. And Soaz, he was even able to pull a CS lead in the top lane, who he actually built a little bit of damage. Like, he has a Haunted Guy, so he realizes that he might need to get a little bit of damage on top of that. As the first turret of the game, actually will go down to Fnatic at the 1150 mark. Or sorry, 1350 mark. And I wonder where they're going to go from here, because Dragon now is a likely possibility, or they could send their AD carry support top lane.
Yeah, we'll see where the Yellowstar does change out. They're sticking around, and they're maybe trying to land a gank on towards Tabs, it seems to me. Tabs is still there. We Will Fail is a long way away. He's been spotted by the ward. That tells me the bottom lane is about to go aggressive. We're still seeing... Here they go. N-Rater's going to come out there. Is going to flay it. Doesn't land in the right direction. A great arcane shift from Tabs there, honestly. He got well out of the way.
Oh, we do see Zoro0 coming down. Looks like they will go for Dragon here. And it's going to be really hard for Fnatic to contest, but Soaz is in hot pursuit right now. He won't be there in time, though, for his ultimate, and that will be first Dragon going over to Lemondogs.
Yeah, no real defense from Fnatic there either. Peke had made no attempts at moving out of that mid lane. He's just continuing that farming spree. 140 CS to 135, but of course he, for the AD carries, 106 and 87. Of course, that is 2 kills in favor of Nukeduck, and that ward did get taken down the moment he got put there.
So some of those are always really exciting. Other times it's a little like, it's a little overused, but we do see Soaz going to be spotted here, and Farouk is how do you lock down Nukeduck? And catch him with the hooks can be really hard. Not to mention the Malphite ultimate, which he does have a quick enough reaction time to dodge it. Not to mention the Orianna ultimate. So he's going to be really hard to lock down, though he doesn't have flash. So, you know, Yellowstar's going to be relatively safe against that.
And everybody from Lemondogs starts to back away. So let's see what they're going to purchase. Sheen was already picked up by Nukeduck. He's gone back with the double Dorans that he had earlier on as well. We're seeing Zoro0 is going to clear out the golems first, so he's going to be getting a bit more CS first. We did see Cyanide actually. He picked up the Boots of Swiftness some time ago. Still unable to really just push his presence on the map at all. He's not been able to gank at all. Every time he's shown up, it's simply in defense of Peke.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because no lane really has CC except, you know, maybe N-Ray if he does land a hook against an Ezreal, which is really hard, or expect the Orianna land an ultimate onto Nukeduck, which is really hard. And so it's the only real lane to gank right now, so he's just trying to farm up, because remember, 3.8, the jungle, the lesser camp spawned 10 seconds quicker, so you're able to farm up a lot more.
So as at the top lane, she mentioned, had regained a lot of that farm, still continuing to get that. Themes maybe built up, we'll see whether he builds it into that haunting guys into anything as well. Zoro0 pressure on him in the top lane, but Dexter's coming to help out, so we're going to have the junglers facing off against the 2 top laners as well. Zoro0, the way he's sticking around, I'm pretty sure they realize that Dexter is here. Tries to bait them out with the teleport, not going to happen. Dexter comes in there. He's going to throw that Damashi standard right on top of Cyanide. No, he's not. And actually, he's just been left alone. Goes straight in, tries to flash away from this one. The aggression comes out. There's no way they're going to escape this one. Tries to use the Cataclysm to slide out, but it is easily dealt with by 2 very, very tanky champions. That may even give them the turret.
That was really unfortunate for him because he used his Q when he didn't necessarily need to, and because of that, they knew he can't escape. Let's go in on this. And now you see Fnatic, they're trying to set up here on Nukeduck.
They're going to try and go in towards it. Can they land the hook? It's going to be a very slippery target. He does manage to get the fish. He tries to throw in, though. Tries to get the shark coming out. He's going to jump away from that one with his playful tricks there. The ignite was not enough. And he does manage to escape that double gank attempt, but look at this, Yellowstar on the bottom lane, on towards Tabs, the barrier comes out, the Hailing Gale, that's going to be the True Shot barrage, will it be enough on towards Yellowstar, has to use the barrier of his own, he's not going to have jump available, he gets picked down, a very good combo from Tabs and We Will Failure.
And that summoner heal coming out big for Lemondogs right there, that just saved his life, not to mention standing right there. Just, I mean, that was ridiculous. Like, you saw the barrier and the Jonas shield come up, and it just saved his life so well, but they're trying to respond by pushing this middle turret here, and Narrated might get caught, but Nukeduck doesn't really have his fish up just yet to really catch him.
Tries to slow him down, but the bait was not there to be had, and he does force him away. Double wards actually placed by Lemondogs in that middle lane. We do see We Will Failure. He had Monsoon available, by the way, in that last Tabs fight as well, so no worries, really, once he got down to it. Tabs is taking down that bottom turret. We're also seeing Lemondogs grouping up on this middle turret as well, so the pressure all across the board right now for Lemondogs.
A relatively slow game in terms of kills right now, only 5 in about a span of 18 minutes. As he's just gonna face tank it like a man and take it down. But the 2 kills that, or 2 of the 4 kills that Lemondogs do have are over to Nukeduck already. You have 1 kill in Lissandra, and unfortunately 1 kill over to We Will Failure. So they have a decent kill spread currently. And if they keep, honestly, if they keep this rate up, like, they should be able to take Fnatic in these team fights.
And the Abyssal's been picked up by Zoro as well. We'll start to see him coming into fights. He's already heading down south here. He wants to get involved. Fnatic trying to go aggressive on towards his turret, but I think Lemondogs may well try and counter this one. We do see the pressure continuing. The hook actually in under We Will Failure. Dexter does come sliding in. Soaz has got unstoppable force if he needs it. Lemondogs do force him to disengage from that tower, but Fnatic are not done yet.
I think we're going to see a fight break out really soon here. If Xpeke can get the ball onto Soaz and they can combo it perfectly, they're just going to destroy Lemondogs. As we see, Dexter actually engaging.
Oh, and that's going to be Zoro coming out. Flashes out of the ultimate. The shockwave doesn't land on anyone, but Dexter's going to get taken very low. Doesn't get caught out. Zoro, unstoppable force was not enough, and he gets taken down. Now Cyanide's in trouble. You can see Nukeduck, he's looking for those targets. The shield has to be used, and that was a very good fight for Lemondogs.
Zoro, what a flash out of him, dodging the Oriole ultimate, getting right on top of 3 members of Fnatic and locking them down. And did you see the damage he did? He took them down to at least half life right there. Wow, Lemondogs, that was extremely strong. And Dexter, most importantly, escaped with a sliver of health.
Absolutely, Peke. That shockwave so far. It's the thing with Orianna. The shockwave, they are so used to getting out of it now. Everybody knows when it's coming. They can avoid it. And it's very hard to land those impressive 5-man shockwaves. As it stands, though, it's 5-1 to the Lemondogs. That's a big kill score advantage, but it is only meaning to a 1.5k gold lead. And we do see the red buff being taken by Cyanide.
And Lemondogs, if they keep true to what they've been doing, they will be going for that dragon, which is coming up about 30 seconds. And honestly, it's going to be hard for Fnatic to contest that, considering they don't have their ultimates available anymore. As I do see the added builds progress, Nukeduck, Lichbane in hand, that is going to be very strong for him. He's going to do quite a bit of damage with that. Not to mention, Tab's going to kind of a different blue build with that Blade of the Rune King and that Spirit of the Elder Lizard. But Dragon coming up in 10 seconds. Lemondogs is setting up for it. Next pick is top lane, so they're just going to get this one away.
It's going to be the second Dragon as well for Lemondogs, of course. Fnatic didn't even really counter for the last one. And I don't think, as you mentioned, not really in a position for this one. Peke is heading down river though, but I think he's going to be too late for the party. And Lemondogs will have taken that Dragon out to lunch and wined and dined him before they even get there.
Unfortunately for Fnatic, they committed a little bit there just in terms of, or Xpeke, he went down bottom after he's already been building up a huge CS lead. He's currently sitting at almost 40 CS ahead of Nukeduck. He's trying to keep up in terms of that game. And looks like they might trigger up the turret here. Soaz's ultimate is available, so they could go for an engage very soon.
Unstoppable force, there's the lantern being taken. Peke was actually caught quite heavily there. Has to use that defensive ball on himself. That turret very, very low, and look at this. Nukeduck just off to the side, hasn't been spotted by any wards. Now he will do as he heads in towards that second bush. Now whole of Fnatic see it. They're pinging on him. They're saying, yep, look at this. He's this sneaky little fish. Slippery little sucker. It's trying to get around the backside of us. Not going to happen.
That would have been a perfect play out of him. In fact, they might have been able to go straight for him here, but they're still pushing this turret. It's very low right now. And Lemondogs, they either have to engage or they have to just go straight for that turret. As Soaz, he's trying to zone him out here. And Lemondogs doing, honestly, a great job right now of defending this turret.
Yeah, they know that they are there. And actually, they have a ping ward in that bush, so they know that there's a ward there as well. So it's just not using it at the moment. Peke's going to run off, though. He's heading towards that top lane, and that's going to force everybody to disengage. We also see Nukeduck heading down towards that bottom lane every time I see Fierce. It's just ingrained in my brain.
Well, either way, I did see Lemondogs give up quite a bit middle, and I guess in the same boat Fnatic did as well. They both teams just backing away, expecting to go back top and farm, and Nuke not being touched bottom. With that Lich Bane, he can do a lot of damage to turrets. So he's going to start back in here, but no one's actually heading down towards him.
Well, we'll see whether he continues to back. I think he will. No, he's not. He's cancelled it. He's going to stick around because nobody's coming anywhere near him, as you mentioned. Just wiping out that wave. Now we do see Cyanide coming down, but honestly, I don't think Cyanide could deal with him. Now we see Peke. He will be able to help it out. And that, of course, immediately means Nuke looks like, yep, we are missing a mid laner. I'm going to hop, skip, and a jump away.
In the middle, some action going down. Looks like the turret's going to fall here. Onyx will give that one away.
Yeah, that's going to be easily taken out. Yellowstar finally getting some pressure on that. It's built towards the Blade of the Rune King, as has Tabs. Tabs already completed that along with his Neverman Elder.
Spirit of the Elder Lizard.
Spirit of the Elder Lizard, there we go. Spirit of the Elder Lizard, then it was one or the other. We actually see Lysandra, Zora Zero in the top lane. He has managed to take the wave down, so as pushing in towards him. Peke, oh, he's going to walk, face check straight towards Nuke. Nuke's just going to jump on him. That fish is going to land. Shockwave is not going to be enough. Playful Trickster's out of it, and that was a simple kill. Zora Zero in the meanwhile, he's going to go down in the top lane. 2 kills to quick succession, back and forward. Now in the mid lane, Enrated, he's going to get Cataclysm, Pancake down. Tabs will manage to get the kill finally there. It's Dexter that took him down. Hailing Gale comes out. That's going to be the slow one towards Yellowstar. They're not going to have enough to take him down unless he sticks around too long.
I think as Fnatic wasn't in position right now to stop Nuke from doing some damage to his bottom turret, that should get very low. And even if they commit a lot of people down there, they're going to lose their mid turret either way. So Lemondog, fantastic job by them. Fantastic job by Zora Zero just to bait them up towards that top side. And Nuke, he might be able to get that turret for free.
He may well be able to. He can just get away from Cyanide. No worries about that one, that's for sure. But they see the pressure continuing. With that Demacia standard down, Tabs is gaining that advantage, and they're going to keep the pressure on. Soaz comes in, but look at it. They're just keeping on the turret. They don't even care about him. True Shot Barrage gets fired off. That's going to be another inner turret going down. Lemondogs are just ripping Fnatic apart at the seams.
And remember, the viewers voted. 92% of them thought that Fnatic would win this game, and only 8% for Lemondogs, who currently have a nice little bit of a lead here. About 5,000 approaching at this point. And so I was trying to chase, but not able to. And you just saw the pressure right there. Like, because of that one little misplay, or, well, not misplay, it was actually a very good play to Lemondogs to get 2 people towards the top side. Nuke was able to get that bottom turret very low, and Lemondogs got 2 middle turrets off of that. That is huge.
We're now looking at close to a 5,000 gold differential between the Lemondogs and Fnatic. And as you say, just that swing, just that quick swing is working out there. But what is We Will Failure working out on?
Yep. So Luis's Miracle, actually it's not a bad item in the end, because when you do level up 3 times, you get that reduced, actually you get the reduced cooldown period off of it. There's a 30% reduced cooldown on your heal, Clairvoyance, Clarity, which obviously has heal, so it's going to be helpful. But also, it kind of doesn't take up a spot once you level up 3 times. So honestly, it's not a big deal for support, since you never really have 6 items anyways. But the heal in team fights, it actually goes underestimated sometimes. It's actually a huge amount, and against a team like this who wants to AoE you down, if you pair that in with a Runic Bulwark, you pretty much just shut down that burst.
And you can see that Runic Bulwark is being built by Dexter as well, so we'll see how that works out. Very clever play here from Lemondogs. We'll see their map position. Ordinarily, you praise Fnatic so heavily for their map position, and they normally play a very tactical game of chess against their opponents, but as it stands, Lemondogs are meeting them every step of the way. 4-3 up in turrets. More importantly, that mid lane turret is down. Yellowstar's going to have himself the red buff coming in towards his next fight. Zoro Zero is taking the blue buff, so which means it's not going to be Tabs, Nuke, sorry, taking it away. I'm going to keep messing that up all day long. Nuke is actually in that top lane, so he's going to be split pushing. He did put a big chunk in that bottom inner turret, remember. We'll see whether he does the same in the top lane, or the rest of his team might happily keep Fnatic busy.
They have to the thing is about Nuke, they can't deal with him one-on-one anymore. They have to send multiple people there. In the meantime, they're trying to go for a push, so they're trying to counter that split push by just grouping up middle and going after it. But right now, it's not really working out for them.
And the thing is, this is what Fnatic do. Fnatic split push. They haven't been able to do it. Nobody can do it. Soaz isn't able to deal with them. You can see Cyanide off at the side again. They don't really have a split push.
Exactly.
So Fnatic effectively changed their tactics in this game, and it's not working.
I'm also not a huge fan of it, because they're so used to having Soaz and Peke just go around ganking people constantly. And with an Orianna Malphite, you could, but to commit those 2 major ultimates into it, it's just not going to work out either way. But Dragon will be up again very soon, and Lemondogs, they're starting to already head towards it. And the thing is, they can just bait Fnatic over towards this, and then they can take that top turret. So pretty much Fnatic, they have to respond to it. They pretty much have to give away, I'd have to say, they give away the Dragon and just stop Nuke Fish going from top lane.
Nuke Fish.
That's what I'm going to call him now.
That's effectively what he is. Fnatic are trying to set up for this one. As you mentioned, Lemondogs are going to see whether they can try and draw them away, but an inner turret for a Dragon, it is a clear choice. And Lemondogs, well, they're going to come out very good here. Dexter's looking like he wants to try and gun in. Will they get it? Smite stolen again. No, they won't. It's going to be Cyanide that takes it. There's going to be the Shockwave coming in. It will land very nicely. The Tabs doesn't go down, just about gets caught out there. Peke getting pancaked on towards the fish, not landing on anyone either. So Nukedog did come in involved in this one. We do see Peke, he's going to get a double kill. And now Nukedog is also going to get cornered. Very good fight for Fnatic there. We see Zoro0, he's chasing on towards Peke, but it was a 3-for-0 and the Dragon for Fnatic.
That might have been the mistake that Lemondogs made that just blew the game for them. There was no reason to actually engage upon that. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but why go for the fight? Obviously, Nukedog could teleport in, but he could take an inner turret off of that, and they can just let a Dragon go for it. But now they're even potentially going to lose Baron here.
Well, we'll see whether it works out. We do see Zoro0 heading back. He's not going to have his ultimate available. He's not going to be able to dive on in there. So we'll see how much that works out for them, because this Baron is going down fairly slowly right now. Fnatic are only got 3 members there. The 5 members are going to collapse her in. Zoro0 has been spotted though. Peke coming around the side of him, tries to throw his damage in there. Is it going to be enough to try and distract them? True Shot Barrage comes across. That hits 3 members. The Shockwave back up, catches on towards Zoro0. Yellowstar pounces on it, and Soaz picks up the kill. They back engage on towards the Baron. He is now very, very low. The rest of Lemondogs are coming, but it's going to be too late. And the Baron picked up by all 5 members of Fnatic.
I was going to say, we have seen level 1 Hailingo actually steal away Baron before at LCS, but unfortunately for We Failure, didn't really make that one happen this time. But look what just happened. That entire swing, Fnatic was down about 5,000 gold, even more than that. And they lost, or so they got Dragon, they got 3 kills, they got Baron, and then they got another kill on top of that. That's just such a huge snowball for them, and now they're the ones going to be able to be the aggressor. The Death Cap now finished unexpected. That makes him ridiculously strong, which was almost one-shotting Tabs to begin with.
Yeah, and you saw how deadly it can be when it does land with that Shockwave. It actually caught Lemondogs, Tabs, and We Will Fail out. So now, just like that, just that big advantage had, almost 5,000 gold, is down to 200. Nothing at all between the two. So just... We talked about how Fnatic are tactically so astute in their combat, and it seems that they have managed to one-up Lemondogs here. We'll see how it progresses, whether it works into towers, because they don't really have any waves pushed right now, so the advantages are not there to be had. Fnatic are going to have to work for them.
The thing is, they don't have an amazing team to siege down turrets with Lemondogs. Obviously, Tabs can be very slippery, but if you have Soaz using this Unstoppable Force on top of you, you're not going to escape that. Like, if they're going to shut you down, they can dive you into the turrets very easily, especially when they have this Baron buff. So Lemondogs, they're to play very passive here, and they actually might let Nukedog split push bottom just to kind of force someone from Fnatic to deal with him. But he doesn't have his teleport available, so it's going to be a very risky move on his part.
Looks to me like Fnatic want to just go straight at that mid lane, though. You already see everybody heading up there. The pings are down. Nukedog's response to this one. He's like, yeah, this is not going to work. Going to have to back off. There's still only 3 members defending for Lemondogs right now, because Zoro0 is in base waiting to buy here, which means they may well have to give up this turret. True Shot Barrage is going to try and clear that wave out. Not really going to be enough. Zhonya's Hourglass completed by Zoro0 and Nukedog, so we'll see whether they do engage for this one. It would be a ballsy play, though, against the Baron up Fnatic, and as you see, they have to back away. Don't think they're going to go for the inhibitor turret just yet, Fnatic, and there is a pause. Interesting. So let's have a look across. It looks like it's Fnatic that have actually caused the pause. We are looking at the screen, and that looks like
his screen froze on his side.
Yeah, that's behind the play, even our screen, and you can see. So Soaz is like, nah, I'm still seeing a turret here, guys, whereas the rest of them has gone. So Soaz is frozen right now. Of course, now Lemondogs, this is going to be a little time for them to try and regroup their thoughts, because a game that was really heavily in their favor has just slipped away from them in the last 5 minutes.
Is it just me, or do they actually look very down right now?
Yeah, well,
like, I think they realize that we probably just threw the game there, guys. And it's going to be really unfortunate, but I guess, I mean, you have to learn somewhere, and learning from mistakes like that can make you a lot of a better, or really a better team overall. I mean, they took advantage of that. Looks like Soaz will be reconnecting here, and I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to actually push this middle turret.
So once Soaz gets back in here, we'll see how it works out. Whether they do keep pushing, of course, that's another matter. We see him, he's just about loading in, and there he is straight on your screen. He still sees the turret. That's going to be a small problem. I'm guessing he's going to be thinking, well, I know it is down anyway, so I'll just keep on going.
Was that Scottish and French together?
I could definitely do Scottish. Oh, hi, laddie. Get a bit of snooping going on there. The problem is with Scottish, you've got to be careful, because generally you tend to swear. So I can't really do that on air.
Okay, well, reasonable, but it looks like the game...
Boom! There
so
we go.
He's still
just like that.
It.
No,
I'm confused.
He's all good. He's
okay.
up with us now. He's up with us now. So let's get into the game, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, Fnatic. up ahead in gold for the first time, I believe, in a very long time against the Lemon Dogs. Lemon Dogs were 5,000 gold ahead, but a misplay at Dragon has brought Fnatic right back into it. They did just pick up the Baron as well. They have around about 2 minutes remaining on that one, I think. I haven't seen a member of Fnatic yet, so I can't quite see where their buff is, but I'm pretty sure it's about that long. Yeah, it's about 80 seconds left.
And luckily for Lemon Dogs, they do have decent wave clear with Zoro. He can pretty much clear the entire wave himself. So that with the Howling Gale, there's no real opportunity for Fnatic to really engage or to really get the tower damage in, but they could go for that hard engage. As you see, Nukeduck, he's waiting on the sidelines. He wants to make something happen, but honestly, like against a Baron up Fnatic with how tanky they are, I don't think they can win a fight right now.
Yeah, and if he does manage to launch himself and catch on towards Tabs, which happened last time around, effectively wiped out a lot of their damage. Nukeduck's still off in this top lane. He's actually going to try and clear that wave out, but Fnatic are closing in on him. He's going to have to back away from this one very quickly. So as he's coming straight around, he's going to land the shard. Nukeduck just backs away from that one. It does mean that the inner turret is going to get fought over, though. We are seeing Lemon Dogs. They maybe want a piece of this one. I'm not too sure this is the right choice to make here. They were grouped up perfectly for Soaz there. The defensive ball is not in place, but look at Soaz trying to clap them down. There's the ball, but oh, he has to dodge away from that Howling Gale. That would have interrupted his unstoppable force. Or, well, it's unstoppable, so it doesn't get interrupted. The secret's in the name, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, that moment, when you see that ball go on top of Soaz, if you're Lemon Dogs, if you're a watcher, you're just like, oh crap, something's gonna happen. But unfortunately, he did get stopped, but Fnatic, they don't want to kind of waste the lead that they've built up so far.
Well, the Baron's about to wear out, so it's a wise choice to back away, I think, here. Yellowstar's just gonna hop away. They've taken away the red, the blue, and the towers.
Yeah, I mean, that huge gold swing is honestly a godsend for Fnatic right here. So they're going to be able to pick up a lot of items. As you see, team members have over 1,000 gold currently. But the items that they're building up, if we can take a look at those, just you look at Yellowstar, Infinity Edge, Blade of the Rune King, he even has a Hex Drinker just so he can survive the damage that Nukeduck will put out. We still have the Abyssal Scepter, Haunting Guys, and Sword Fruits out of Soaz. So his damage, you honestly can't count that out at all. You look over at Cyanide, who actually looks like he's going for... Well, he has a Sheen, so Iceborne Gauntlets or a Trinity Force. As Lemon Dog's being very aggressive, they're actually doing a very ballsy move. They're trying to catch someone, but you can't really catch a Udyr.
Well, they're going to go in. They do manage to get the Howling Gale. Is it going to be enough damage, though? I'm not too sure it is. And that may well just buy them time instead. Dark Passage flung out by N-Rated, and the bear flies through the air.
That's pretty scary. Just to see a bear flying at you. Either way, I mean, it was honestly a great attempt by Lemon Dogs just to go for something like that, but it's a Udyr. You're not going to be able to burst him down at all, especially with your combos, so you're going to have to back away, and Fnatic, they might be able to pick up Dragon here since it's currently up right now. And it would be, I believe, their second one of the game.
Second one of the game, of course. The first one they got was when they turned the game around. True Shot Barrage does come across. Starts it off nicely for Fnatic. N-Rated is like, well, thanks. I'll have that Dragon delivery system as opposed to the ball delivery system we see too often. And that's going to be Fnatic picking that up. That means the gold will continue to slide in their favor. As it stands, though, Lemon Dogs really up against it, and they've just got to hope that Fnatic really make a bad play here. There's a ping on Nukeduck, and he is going to get a whole Fnatic team on top of his head.
He's gonna, oh no, he can, there's no way he's gonna burst Yellowstar down. There's no way that can happen. He might try to go for Expected, but he might get spotted here. Oh. He's been so ballsy. Where's Expected to come in?
He's gonna go for Yellowstar, surely. That's gonna be the focus. There goes the fish, goes straight in towards him. Does he manage to catch up towards him? Zonya's Hourglass comes out from Nukeduck. They're gonna jump on Cataclysm on towards Yellowstar. He's around the back. He manages to blow Dexter back away from this one and avoids the damage. Cyanide gets around in defense. There's gonna be Peke picking up the kill. He's gonna take down Zoro Zero. Nukeduck's gonna be the focus target. He wants to get it to Yellowstar. He does. That's gonna be the shard slowing him down, though. Cyanide immediately puts a big bear paw in his back, and Peke manages to land the kill. N-Rated using the hook to slide his way through, and the rest of Fnatic back in position. It almost worked for them. They got Yellowstar down, but they just didn't have the damage in the right places.
That was so close. Yellowstar barely escaped the beginning of that fight where you saw Zoro Zero come in. He tried to lock him down as well, but fortunately they weren't able to burst him down, and even if they did, you still had Peke, who still has his ultimate available right now.
We do see Fnatic pushing in. Can they try and take their first inhibitor turret here? No, because Lemon Dogs respond. Ooh, but look at Tabs getting a quick call there. Fnatic, well, they know the timers. They're going to back off. They realize they've got 20 seconds before that Baron is up. We'll see whether they try and go straight for it.
And they're going to be buying up some really good items here, too, because Expect is sitting on 1,700 gold. He has that Void Staff done. But the real thing is Cyanide. He's going to have his Iceborne Gauntlets done really soon. And that means, well, done now, that means he can't be stopped when chasing someone. Like, the protection that Lemon Dogs really has is the Janna, and it's the, we can't use the Cataclysm defensively, but it's also the Sandra with the lockdown. But she needs to use that offensively the entire time. So it's going to be very hard for anyone to run from Cyanide when he already has Ghost and the Iceborne Gauntlets to keep up with you. Not to mention the Boots of Swiftness, which he picked up a long time ago.
See how it works out, because look at the double Giants belt picked up by Soaz. Just stacking a couple of those belts on, why not? Making up for the belt I'm missing. We do. Lemon Dogs trying to set up for a gank here. They may well try and go for it. They're going to jump on towards Yellowstar, but the Flake comes straight out. Dexter Cataclysm's in there. He does manage to get a stun on towards Yellowstar. Quickly blocks him away.
Oh!
Shockwave not actually going off because he went down just as it was about to land. This may be the turnaround that Lemon Dogs needed. They're going straight for Baron.
Is this Evil Geniuses versus Lemon Dogs again? Because it's just happening back and forth, but honestly, I'm looking at this. If they get engaged with Soaz, I'm not sure they can still take this. This could be very tricky right now. Lemon Dogs have to be very careful. This is the new Magnet. They have to be very careful not to throw this game right now.
Well, Yellowstar's hanging off the side. Zoro gets hooked in, and straight away a lot of damage coming out from Yellowstar. Tristana, of course, at level 18 is a fierce monster. The fish comes out. It goes on towards Soaz. Hasn't used Unstoppable Force yet. Has to use it to try and get away. No, he goes back in. Lands it. Zoro goes down. They catch on towards Nuke Dog. Uses the Zonya's Hourglass. It's only going to be enough buying time for Yellowstar to turn around. Doesn't still get the kill. Jumps on towards Dexter. He's going to get slowed down. That's going to be Yellowstar picking up the kill there. It's now still 4 on 3 now. And Cyanide, he's getting that Iceborne Gauntlets. He's catching on towards Nuke Dog. He's just simply slowing him down. The Flay comes in there, still doesn't land him. True Shot Barrage coming back across, fires across, and everybody has to disengage. But a great defense there from Fnatic, considering they didn't have their AP carry, who is up right now and running back here. If Tabs hangs around too long, they may be able to turn this fight against him.
It was a 4-on-5, and they were able to pick up 2 kills off of that. That's just ridiculous, but Lemon Dogs, they wanted to make something happen right there. It was a smart move to switch off of Baron and go straight for Fnatic, but I think it might have been a little bit just too late because they just took too much damage from the Baron. But Cyanide, he just stuck in Tab's face the entire time, and he wasn't allowed to damage the targets he wanted to get down. And Nuke Duck, unfortunately for him, just didn't have the burst just yet to really take someone out of the game.
With that Lich Bane he had on earlier, it was working, but the fact that everybody's built up so defensive now, everybody's thrown out that big armor, and Rated doing what he can to keep the cover down. And look at this, Fnatic straight away back towards the Baron. They want to make sure it's cleared out. They have a pink ward down on towards it. They're going to sweep out. Cyanide will take that down. Just bullies on that ward. And Tabs, well, he's going to clear out a big chunk of change in that top lane, but the rest of Lemon Dogs, they have to be heading to this Baron quickly.
Now you see Nuke Duck, he is set up in position to try to go in. And Ray does get the pull to Zoro.
Straight in towards him, the Flay comes down. Zoro used that ultimate, but he's going to get caught out. Is it going to be enough? He's going to get popped straight away. Peke turns that one around. True Shot Barrage was there, but it's simply a material. But look at Cyanide, pops that speed boost, goes straight in towards Tabs. It wasn't enough. Is it? Yes, it is. Bear Stance in there, Ice Flail. Shockwave not going to come in though, but Tabs managing to get away from that one. Great escape turning out for him. We will fail at the next target. He gets Shard and Iceborne Gauntlets stunning him, slowing him, anything they can. And that is going to be Fnatic just backing away. They only got 1 kill out of that. And look at the Baron, it's warded up completely. Pink wards everywhere. And they're just going to return straight back to it.
Yeah, they were able to keep them off of Baron, but look at what's happening right now. You have Lemon Dogs actually have to back away with Tabs and We Will Failure. You see Nuke Dog, he's pushing middle right now. He's trying to make something happen, trying to make Fnatic respond. And Fnatic, they're just actually backing out right now. They're going to go heal up. They're going to buy an item or two. And they're not going to go for that new Magnet. They want to make sure to beat Lemon Dogs because honestly, they should be able to beat them in a head-on-head fight.
Still very tight in the fights though. Just 4,000 gold between the two teams. And honestly, that's not a huge difference right now because we're in the 50k marks. We are seeing that Lemon Dogs are keeping Fnatic busy every time that fight comes around. Those Zonya's Hourglasses though, they have been vital for Lemon Dogs. They have been causing so many problems. We do see though, as this game progresses, Yellowstar and Tristana is just going to get stronger and stronger.
He's going to have his Malmortius actually done very soon, unless he's going for a Last Whisper with that item. But actually, Last Whisper would be honestly a better item in the end. But where's the next fight going to happen? Because I don't believe it's actually going to be at Baron. As Fnatic actually they're making their way over to Dragon here, and they should be able to take that quite easily. As we're not sitting on too much gold, but Lemon Dogs, you have to give them credit. They've been very aggressive. They've been bringing the fight to Fnatic, trying to catch them off guard. It hasn't been working out too well, but I love their aggression.
Oh, see, Soaz finally starting to get the split push going. But look at him. He's kind of been synonymous in the fights, but he's at 6-1-4. He's always been there or thereabouts. One of those Giants belts that's built into a healthy item, and it just seems just stacking up right now and causing so many problems for Lemon Dogs. They are just trying to keep them off the side here, trying to keep them away from this turret. And Fnatic playing it wise. As you mentioned, they're not going for that new Magnet. They do catch on towards Zoro. It's not quite enough though. Not the target they want. They throw the ball towards him. Straight goes defensive, and there's going to be Lemondogs engaging. Zoro0 going aggressive. True Shot Barrage comes across, but the Shockwave quickly reacts. Nuke though, with the Zhonya's Hourglass, they got a lot of damage down here for Lemondogs. They may be able to turn it around. Soaz very, very low. That's going to be the Monsoon. It pokes him down, and look at Dexter getting sliding towards them. They are going to catch a second one down. A third one, will it be enough though? Yellowstar's trying to jump away, but that slow is so strong. The Howling Gale catches him down. That's 4 for Lemondogs, and now they're turning straight towards the Baron. They should just run straight at the mid, in my opinion.
I'm not sure which way they're going just yet, as it looks like they will go middle. So they hear you, Demon. They listen. They're going to be going for that Cyanide, going to keep split pushing, so he's going to force someone to back away. So looks like Zoro0 is going to be the one to handle that, but they have enough time. They have the damage to take this inhibitor turret, and the inhibitor, honestly, that would be huge for them.
30-second death time is still remaining. You can see Nuke, he's chunking it down. Tabs with him. Howling Gale coming across, clearing out those waves, and immediately that's going to be an inhibitor turret down, and the inhibitor will follow. So just like that, Lemondogs swinging themselves back into the game, and they have really earned it very well, because honestly, they had the great advantage earlier on, apart from their misplay. Cyanide trying to stop Tabs from backing away here. We Will Failure is going back. Nuke still there. Tabs is just going to have to run away. He's got Arcane Shift. I'm not too sure whether he's going to get slowed down enough, though. Does try and pop it. Will it be enough? He is just going away with the Arcane Shift. Cynide's like, oh, damn it, you got away.
Tabs is like, team, come on, help me. But they did all go back. They went all back and healed. Tabs, he's going to have to back and get his mana back. But it looks like Fnatic might actually try to go for Baron here. They do, I believe they have an Oracle's over on 10 rated currently. Yes, he does. So they're going to be able to clear out the vision. And remember what happened last time. Zoro0, he got pulled in, they blew him up, and Fnatic was able to pretty much capitalize on that fight and try to go for aggression up the middle.
Well, Lemondogs again in that position. It's all about the Baron, it seems. What, do they really want it? I think they're just going to wait for the Super Minions, calm down that mid lane. Oh, when rated with that Howling Gale, actually has the Baron attacking on him. It's going to take a good chunk of health off him. Where's Nuke going?
I think he's actually going to try split pushing here. He has teleport available, and he could easily draw a lot of Fnatic away here.
We Will Failure for the 3rd time causes the Baron to attack.
Oh no! Look at Nuke.
He's going to back away. He's on towards Peke.
Oh, can he land the fish? If he lands it, Peke, I don't think he's going to be able to survive this. He does have Zhonya's though, and Nuke just lets him go away. Because he doesn't, I guess, because he doesn't know where the rest of Fnatic is. He doesn't want to get caught because he knows 43 minutes in, if he dies, that's going to be the game.
Yeah, very cautious play, very wise from Nuke. Didn't want to go full on aggression. He's going to pick up the blue buff himself. We see Cyanide starting off the Baron, sorry. This Baron will go down very quickly. Nuke has got teleport available. He's going to have to get in very close, though. And we're seeing Dexter lingering off the side. He's going to go and slide in. He's got a bit early. Cataclysm comes down there. True Shot Barrage rattles across as well. Teleport is now coming in. Nuke's going to join the party. Is he going to finally get around the side? Yes, he is. We see the aggression on towards Enrated. Enrated getting caught out. Howling Gale comes across as well. There's going to be Nuke going down. Meanwhile, down the bottom here, Fnatic, they're dropping like flies. Cyanide's trying to catch on towards him. Oh, the Shockwave misses. The Shockwave misses. You can see Tabs, he backs away from this fight, just being kited away from here. And Lemondogs looking very good in this fight. They do manage to get another one down. It's Tabs, Arcane shifts across. Yellowstar tries to jump away, but the slow from We Will Failure should be enough. Quickly turns around. Yellowstar, oh, forces the flash away there. And they are going to force them away from the Baron again. Meanwhile, the minions, they've took down the top inner turret, and there's super minions pushing down the mid lane. Bottom wave, there's a big chunk of minions as well. And they see Fnatic, they are in trouble now, and they're going to try and prevent this Baron, but I don't think they can do it. You're going to turn back around. Tabs trying to get aggressive.
The position that fight out of Tabs was so spot on, but look at the minions on the mini-map. They're just closing on the turret, and you see Fnatic, they're backing away. They're going to give up that Baron. And Lemondogs coming back from the brink of defeat. That fight was ridiculous. Nuke zoned out Xpeke and Yellowstar himself in the beginning, and that, I have to say, is single-handedly why they ended up winning that fight.
That is going to be 2 inhibitor turrets down now, because the bottom one was taken by the minions. Very well played by Lemondogs, and these fights, they have been swinging in their favor. Just look at the gold. 200 gold between these two teams, still incredibly close, but it is Fnatic currently without an inhibitor in the mid lane, and the turret is exposed now on that bottom lane.
This is going to be very, very tough for Fnatic to defend against a Baroned up Lemondogs when they already have so much damage. As you can see by their gold, they have nothing left because they bought it all. They bought up everything they possibly could. They want to go for the win. And with that bottom inhibitor turret being down, just like you said, Demon, they can just sit there all day and just harass at it with Super Minions push down middle. And Fnatic, they're going to have to go for a hard engage here because losing 2 inhibitors, it's not likely to come back from that.
It is very, very tricky. And as you said, once that first inhibitor goes down, 93% of the chance they do actually go on to win. It is looking like it may well go that way. We see Lemondogs starting to stack up on the bottom lane. And honestly, Nuke has been causing so many problems. Yellowstar's been doing a great job at avoiding the damage, but Peke has been dropping every time he gets caught out because the burst potential now from those champions is incredibly high, and that's why you see Peke just lingering off the top here, trying his best to avoid anything that goes towards him.
This is where an inexperienced team can really make a mistake. We're going to see how experienced Lemondogs is here if they just wait. They just have to be patient. They don't need to go in. They don't need to get engaged upon. And just wait for the minions to push, because then they'll have an easier time fighting this in potentially a 5v4 situation.
Well, that inhibitor will be up shortly in the mid lane, I believe. But it doesn't matter, super minions are coming in there, and look at this, they're getting ever so close. They're starting to break through that barrier of the base. Who will they engage on? Dexter's quite happy to take some of that damage, actually gets hooked in. Are they going to go fully for him? He slides away from this one. And again, just happy to sit back. You see Peke, he's having to go back because there's super minions in that mid lane. They're having to deal with them, and Lemondogs are taking full advantage of this one, slowly but surely grinding down Fnatic.
And Hibber's at half health. They see the engage of SOAS!
Unstoppable Force and Shockwave combined. Is it going to be enough? Really, it was only Dexter they caught on. They do get the kill there. So it's Peke that manages to take down one, but Zora Zero goes straight in. Nukedog jumping around. He's going to get on towards SOAS. He goes down, but that's Zora Zero down as well. But look at Tabs. He's doing work on towards Peke. Peke's going to drop. The basic attacks are enough. Yellowstar's going to come back into this fight, but the Howling Gale's going to interrupt him. Should be enough. Monsoon comes out. Is it going to be enough? Yellowstar back and forth. He does go down. It's support versus support now. A triple kill for Tabs. I'm not too sure whether Enrated has it in him to take down We Will Failure. He's going to have to back away from this one. But a 4-for-4 fight. Crazy, crazy action. But it's Lemondogs. We Will Failure. He's trying to take down the inhibitor on his own. Howling Gale comes out. The hook should be enough from Enrated. He's just going to fly on towards We Will Failure. He's got the inhib. Very well played.
The thing is, how does Enrated defend against super minions? They have Mori in mid lane. They're going to be pushing in. You have a wave bottom. He can't clear waves, and you have 25 seconds on Cyanide.
He's got 2 inhibitors. What a play from that support. We Will Failure off the side. We saw him with his teddy bear earlier on. Seems to be bringing him luck.
And most importantly, during that fight, he popped a heal on his team when they got engaged upon, and you saw the health just rise back up from that entire XPK ultimate, and that allowed them to pretty much sustain that fight. But Tavs, he was tanking in a Nexus turret there at the end. I think if he maybe stepped up a little bit over to the side, he would have had enough health to survive, but in the end, 4-for-4, 2 inhibitors down for Lemondogs. They have the advantage clearly right now, and it's just about how are they going to use this.
Well, more importantly, that was a 4-for-4. And they had Baron, so that was still a very tight fight. A very good engage by Fnatic with Unstoppable Force and Shockwave. And you see with the gold, it's actually 1,000 gold in favor of Fnatic still, despite the fact they are 26 down, 2016 down and 8-6 down in turrets. The kill advantage, of course, with Lemondogs. And we see Lemondogs now starting to get those ward placements out there, starting to try and put as much coverage as they can on the map, and maybe trying to catch some champions out from Fnatic to try and push these waves.
And Nukeduck, he just picked up a Rabadon's death cap. He was already doing quite a bit of damage before, but he's going to be able to, if he stays alive, if he positions correctly, I don't even think Yellowstar can survive against this damage, but we do have a big item coming out from Fnatic, Xpeke. He has a Guardian Angel. That is a big item for him, because he knows if he dies, like, they lose out on quite a bit, as he's sitting at 410 farm, which is clearly the highest in the game right now. But Lemondogs, how are they going to go about this? They have Baron coming up in about 2 minutes, but they have the 2 waves of Superman's pushing. We have Tabs actually backing at his own base for some reason. Or not back. Oh, yeah, he was backing. I was like, what's happening there? But he does a teleport to get in. I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, no, because the thing is, if he wants to teleport bottom, then his team's going to get engaged upon 5v4.
He's going to home guard teleport in, maybe.
I think so. He's actually, he might be able to do it from like middle or bottom, and that could completely catch him off guard. But it's a very ballsy play, and if it goes wrong, it could actually cost him the game.
We'll see where he goes with it. We do have, of course, the whole of Lemondogs trying to push this bottom lane. There is the teleport. It's actually just going to come in and help out his team. Realized it's probably not the wisest move to go in there. Instead, they do catch on towards Cyanide. But look at that turret. That is very low already. Tabs has been doing work on that one. This could be the 3rd inhibitor turret going down. The hook coming out from Enrated, not really finding its target. Nukeduck getting spotted out by that ward. That's going to get cleared out by We Will Failure. Peke having to defend out those super minions. So they're only 4 on 5 right now on this top turret. And it's starting to show because that tower is ever so close to going down.
And Tabs, he actually sold his Spirit Visage to actually pick up a Banshee's Veil because he wants to be able to dodge the damage out of Xpeke. And he's still bottom lane right now. They could go for an engage, but they're just trying to get this turret down. And it's at about a 3rd life as Nukeduck, he's coming in from the side. He could get like bursted down by Yellowstar very quickly. He's going to be very careful here, and we might see that turret going down on this wave.
Well, as we just passed the 50-minute mark now, this game is very much teetering on a knife edge, and Lemondogs, while they could win this game in a couple of seconds, they could also possibly lose it, and Fnatic could charge straight up that mid. We are at spawn timers, very, very long times right now. And well, Yellowstar is a beast. He's about to pass the 400 CS mark as well. Nuke still trying to bait them at the side, but every time they get closer, Tabs gets in, gets a couple of shots in. He does get caught out this time. There's going to be the box coming down from M-Rated. The turret, though, has gone down. Cyno's taking all of the damage this time around, and they do manage to fend them off quite well. Nuke also took a bit of a beating. Soaz continues to chase on towards him. The rest of Lemondogs coming around the side, but that is another inhibitor down.
Yeah, no need to engage right now. Baron's up in 20 seconds. You know this is going to be the last fight. It's going to come down to who can get this Baron or who can win the fight over the Baron. And they're able to pick up the blue buff and be able to take it away. And with the 2 waves of Superman still pushing, the inhibitors coming up in a couple of minutes' time, they should be able to have a free Baron here.
Well, we'll see how it works out. Peke and Cyanide both down this bottom wave. They're trying to clear out this super minions as quick as possible. Baron has spawned. They are not even going to get close to this one. Fnatic are going to have to fight off another Baroned up Lemondogs team, and this time without any turrets.
It's going to be very difficult for them because you know Lemondogs, they're going to take that top inhibitor for free pretty much. Fnatic's going to have to give that one away because they need the help with the turrets at this point. And they're trying to push the waves out as far as they can because they know the amount of time that they can buy themselves before they need to go for an engage or before those minions get there gives them a better chance of winning the fight overall. But Baroned up Lemondogs right now, Tabs doesn't have a lot of mana, which actually might hurt him quite a bit. He does have blue buffs, so it's going to be regenerating very quickly. And we do have the heal available for We Will Failure, which was so impactful last fight.
Going to have to see the most perfect engagement from Fnatic if they can fend off the Lemondogs. They do manage to hook on. Oh, they nearly followed through on that one, actually. Took a lot of damage. Unstoppable Force comes out. The bull is on him. Hasn't used the shockwave just yet, though. We do see Lemondogs on. That's going to be Yellowstar jumping in, going too aggressive, and they just turn it back around on him. And surely that means they're in trouble. Nuke coming around. He's chasing on towards him. That's another kill coming in there. Nuke on towards Cyanide. He zips in. Playful Trickster jumps on towards him, and the rest of the Lemondogs piling in towards the Fnatic base. They're going to charge it down. They're going to have the Nexus turrets to take, but no, the inhibitor respawns. They finally take one down, and that means they're going to get back on towards it. Cyanide taken very, very low as well. That's going to be one Nexus turret down. Look how quick he can burst him down. Nuke is down, though. Is it going to be enough to defend it? Xpeke trying to do what he can, trying to catch on towards We Will Failure and Dexter. So low, but it doesn't matter. The next Nexus turret has gone down. Tabs is just working it down. Zora Zero is working it down. The Lemondogs are going to take down Fnatic and join them at 4 and 5 in the league. Wow, what a game. Lemondogs really putting in a performance there against Fnatic.
After they almost blew it at that Dragon fight when they had a 5,000 gold, they ended up coming back somehow by the skin of their teeth. And in that last fight alone, you saw Nuke and Zorazo just teamed up, pushing out the entirety of Fnatic, and that was just so well played. It was so on the edge the entire time there for the last 10 minutes, I have to say, but Lemondogs coming out ahead. Fantastic job by them.
And you've got to give credit to We Will Failure there. When he was up, support versus support, he had it in him to take down 2 of the inhibitors with the help of those minions. He managed to keep the pressure on, and that, in the end, really was what gave them the pressure to be able to go back and pick up that Baron. So Fnatic, in their first game in Cologne, see themselves going down to one of the new upstarts. And well, what a game. 52 minutes, just shy of 53 minutes there, 23-17. We're looking at nearly 80,000 gold for both teams, but it's Lemondogs, after almost throwing the game at Dragon, managed to drag themselves back into it.
Somehow. Hopefully Trevor will be able to tell us that in a little bit, but you do see We Will Failure. He's actually 1-0 and 19 at the end of that game. He didn't die once, which was just ridiculous for the entire time, and the items across the board, like, you might wonder, did the GAs come out a little bit too late, where Xpeke is the one that had one, but he still had it at the end of the fight anyways. He had it still at the end of the game, so it was just a matter of keeping Soaz and Cyanide stretched too far away from their team, where you saw Tabs was able just to 1v2 him.
And more importantly, we've seen Fizz in the LCS for Europe. That actually kind of worked. 8-5-5 overall, not a bad result. Kept a lot of pressure on Peke. When you think of how much pressure Peke was putting on him at the start, trying to bully him down on that turret, it backfired horribly, and it seems to work. So despite the Nuke, that split push that was working almost backfired on him. But again, Lemondogs seem to adjust, and that's actually showing a little bit of experience for Lemondogs there. You know, they could have easily just curled up in themselves. We said when we saw them in that pause, nobody was talking, as they shouldn't be, but they all looked down on themselves as well.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird because we've never seen a team play like that in terms of when they're behind, like you said, they kind of crumble, they kind of just sit back, just get really defensive. But they said, you know, screw that. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to try to catch someone off guard. They did it 2 times. It worked out actually one of the times, but I think that might have been the thing that kind of kept them in, because you saw Fnatic. They didn't do their normal thing of just pushing up. They were hesitant. Like, they set back towards their own side of the map and wanted to make sure no one's behind them, no one around to flank them.
Absolutely fantastic stuff, and showing the experience as well. Of course, we're going to have an analysis of that game because, honestly, it was a pretty crazy back-and-forth action. I'm not too sure what point Quickshot would pick out because it was a game of throws at a few moments. But let's get over to Trevor and see what he's got for us.
Thank you very much, D-Man. It was an awesome game right from the get-go. Simply put, Lemondogs, they came out swinging. They got early kills on the board. You know, we've seen how much difficulty Fizz was dealing with in the middle lane. Nukeduck was under a lot of pressure from that Doran's Ring start on Orianna. It's a non-traditional item, something that we don't see very often at all. As the game progressed, we got to the mid-game section, and I was originally going to show you the replay of that dragon fight, but unfortunately, some technical issues occurred, so I can't play that one specifically. But long story short, a great unstoppable force, as well as the Orianna Shockwave, managed to lock up both Ezreal and Janna, and that single-handedly won them the fight. Tabs on Ezreal was just not able to get the damage down that he needed to. Much later in the game, after a number of fights, after 2 different Barons, towers being traded back and forth, we are going to be getting into the replay that I'm about to show you. So let's pull this one up on screen. Before we get this underway, as you can see the positioning here, Lemondogs, they've been moving in from an easterly direction because there's a lot of pressure being built up by Fnatic. And this is the go signal here. You can actually see them saying, right, let's pick this engagement. Dexter's off to the side. He takes a lot of additional damage here from the members of Fnatic. And Fnatic initially think they can go in. So Soaz, with the unstoppable force, into the Shockwave, manages to pull 3 of them in. But Nukeduck, very, very crucially, uses his Playful Trickster to get to safety. And that was really what played in their favor. Let's actually play this at full speed, and you can see the rest of the fight. Pay very, very careful attention to Tabs' positioning. He has not taken any damage or pressure from anybody on Fnatic. There was no thunderstorms above his head. There was no lightning being thrown at him. And he's just been allowed complete free reign. He tore through the sides, and that is all due to the work that Zoro did at the very beginning of the fight. Zoro dove onto Yellowstar's Tristana, locked him up, forced him to flash and rocket jump away, and absolutely destroyed his HP bar. Lemondogs needs to work a little bit on their mid-game team fights because outside of this fight and one more in the mid lane, the majority of the engagements were won by Fnatic. Overall, though, it was a Lemondogs victory. They managed to pick up the 2 inhibitors and actually just destroy the rest of the map. So congratulations to them and get themselves yet another one on the board. And I believe that Shox is actually ready with an interview. So we should be throwing over to her very, very shortly.
Thank you very much. I'm here with Nukeduck, of course, a mid laner for Lemondogs. When we saw that Fizz pick, of course, we're like, Tabs plays a very mean Fizz. You weren't too bad either, putting a lot of early pressure on Orianna. So how did the early game go for you?
I played versus Orianna with Doran's Blade, which is really good against Fizz. So my team just helped me out in the early game, and then later into the game, Fizz is pretty good versus Orianna. So it was that.
Yeah, you really got ahead in that early game, but talk me through the mid game because it just seemed like you wanted to throw it with that Baron attempt especially.
Yeah, one team fight, we got really comboed by the Orianna Malphite, and that led to them getting Baron the first time, and we were pretty behind. And we had that all-in comp, so when we are behind, it's really hard to come back. So when we got the pick, we tried to do Baron, which also failed, but we just got a lot of picks after that, and then one good team fight. And then it sealed the deal, basically.
Absolutely. Can you run me a little through how the week has been for your team? Because I've noticed that at the end of last week in Moscow, there was quite a lot of tension coming out of the losses there. So how did the week go?
It was fine. Just after the game, some people are like a bit sad that we lose, that's all. But no one is really mad or anything. So just one day after, everyone is cool.
All right. Thank you very much, Nukeduck. Now, it's no secret that SK Gaming is in turmoil after disappointing results in the first 2 weeks. And to up the ante even more, they are now up against first place Team Alternate, led by their ex-jungler Aranea. Heated battle between SK and Alternate coming up after the break.